my concept when it comes to jump train or plyometric is I try to start it's lower. Uh, we'll start out doing a lot of single leg movements, isolateral leg movement jump. Um, Sometimes like I'll have them do barefoot first, so that way I can also assess the ankle and the foot and the knees because these athletes they compete barefoot. So I need to see sometimes with too much support, you might have a false sense of confidence where these guys jump in and do all this crazy stuff, but if the ankle is weak and I can see that their knees buckling because you're not landing correctly, we need to address that versus just keep jumping more. And I feel like that's some of the mistake a lot of athletes or some coach make is they want the athlete to get more power, more speed, and they see that we have to increase the volumes, which is, right at a certain time. But if there's some imbalance and nobody address that, that's going to cause some type of injuries or something that will affect their output that is going to take a lot more to fix later on as the athlete become more developed. So the younger, even at the highest level, we start off the basic stuff. We just make sure that the form is good. Basic stuff work. Basic stuff work. I believe in that. So sometimes you don't have to be too fancy and do all this crazy stuff. I feel like just sometimes a lot of guys will like do the fancy stuff because it look good, it feel good. But you know what? What's gonna keep them healthy is the little thing that makes sure that they can move lateral, different plane, making sure that they have the ligament and tendon is strong enough to prevent injuries and also from the maximize athletic power. So the progression, I do a lot of single leg to start out with. I do a lot of jump in different plane, a lot of lateral jumps. Sometimes I jump and rotate to mimic a lot of stress in combat sport. And most of these athletes already do a lot of stuff very linear already. They run in, everything just going straight forward. So do more lateral stuff. Add some rotation in. A lot of time we'll use different resistance from bands to even medicine ball to add stress to the jump. So that way they'll create a lot more type of stress, real life scenario that, a lot of time lifting weight and all this stuff is just grab it straight pull down, but if you have somebody trying to drag and pull you or trying to clinch and pull you and you got to explode out, it's a different kind of stress. So we got to make sure that the athlete, get more efficient in these planes, all throughout different planes when they do these jump explosive power, but also, for them to learn that, there's not just one way to develop that power. A lot of time is, just, bring the intensity down, but focus more on the quality of the movement, more accuracy. Sometimes I have an athlete using a small hurdles, and if I tell them to do multiple jump and stop and break, a lot of people can't stop that, which then we can see where we can cause some injuries or, the deceleration is what put a lot of stress in your joints, So we do a lot to make sure that the athlete feel comfortable. Like I said, these are fighters, they're not track star. We can definitely use a lot of these elements to help the athlete get better, but, we have to train them safely and we have to make sure that, okay, how this going to translate into the fight. If you doing a Muay Thai fight where you have to be moving off the different angle, I mean, we have to train like that, and I think a lot of people, they kind of get away from doing all the little stuff that sometimes might be boring. The big box and the high hurdle, it look cool, it's explosive, it feel good. The other stuff kind of sucks. It take a lot of time, it's tedious, but that's what can hold you together. You see guys that have compete at the highest level now, all different sport, in late 30 and 40, it's because they train smarter. They making sure that, not just how strong they are, but they really working to eliminate any weak gaps or imbalance that they have. And by expose them early and do different plane, and like I said, doing barefoot jumping, you can really see that a lot more. And that allowed me time to assess and start focusing in on working those imbalance, which in the long run will help them perform better.